Hi, I'm Rich Benatti, and welcome to another episode of Northeast Packard Classic Cars. This is a classic example of how to put a grill together. Most customers or most people, even hobbyists, don't realize the amount of work that it takes to put some of these grills together. This is a 1937 Packard 115 grill, which is the same as the 120. It is not a open and closing louver grill, which, believe it or not, is much easier to put together. This particular grill is done with each individual bar. It had a little tab at the top, and then the top went into the top and bottom of the grill, okay, and fit in there and was peened over. The problem with these grills is that the metal has become so fatigued that even though they're plated, even though they're in good shape, which we had to look quite a while to find a grill that was in this good of shape, when you bend these tabs, they will break. If they break, you have a huge problem because now the alignment of the grill will move around, and that's a major problem. I'm going to tell you how to overcome that. It can't be bent, so don't try, okay? If you try to bend it and it cracks, the only alternative is to send it back to the plater and start the whole process over again. Once this grill is done and in our hands and all these pieces are acceptable, because that's the first thing we do. We want to make sure the chrome plating is done well. This particular job, we're doing both sides. It's going to be a concourse restoration. So both sides of the grill bars have been done. And again, it took us quite a while to find a grill in this good a shape where the bars are straight and they're also able to be plated. This is a typical 1937 Packard grill front. It fits both the 115, which by the way is the 115-inch wheelbase, and the 120. The difference between this grill and some of the senior cars is the senior cars actually had a thermostatically controlled louver grill which would open and close depending on the heat. The 37 did offer what they called a CD package, which is a special package, and you did get this thermostatically controlled grill that would work on the junior cars, okay? But it's a pretty rare option. This particular grill, you can see, is dented. Most of the time, Grandpa hit something here, which you can see. And as we turn this thing around, I want you to see the inside of it, okay? Even though these grill bars are in decent shape, sometimes when acid is used to clean them, it could deteriorate and actually have holes. You can see that these are all peened over right now, and just taking it apart is a huge problem. This upper piece, okay, is slightly rotted out, and this is something that we actually fabricate because to repair that is impossible. The next part of this grill is the separation bar. It's made out of stainless steel. You see it right in here. What that does is it twists into each individual piece, and the parts maintain the distance of the grill between all the bars, okay? So you can see it right there. This is an example of one that was taken out poorly. Someone forced it, broke it. This metal is very good metal. It'll take a lot of abuse, but obviously someone was extremely rough on it and it broke. These bars can be made. They're very hard to find, but you can see the way it maintains the separation of the grill pieces here, okay, all the way through it. Okay. Now, the tabs have to be bent up. Each piece has to be taken out. You have to wind out each individual piece, which I'm going to show you because you want to assemble one into place in order to be able to put it in place, and then the grill is assembled. Okay, this is the grill bar section, the separator. So this piece actually has to be put together like this, has to be put in, and then it has to be twisted in shape so that will maintain the separation between the bars. Before I put these in, I made sure that this thing was absolutely perfectly straight. I had to make sure that all the twist parts were in the same location, because if they're slightly off because of removal or changing, it'll unpitch the angle of the grill. The next problem that we have, which always happens, when you get a good plating job, the plater usually nickel plates and copper coats, several coats, in order to give it this thick, rich look. The problem that happens is in doing that, these holes, okay, where the ends of the slots go in, fill in. So the hole is much smaller than it should be. So it takes one of our men here to take a jeweler's file and actually start to work the holes out by hand. This took 8 hours to do the top and the bottom of this grill, because these holes were so impacted with copper and nickel and also the chrome that these pieces would not fit in there. Okay, so I had a man working on that. This is the outside piece, and now you can see that this piece fits right in there. Okay, that's on the back side. So once these holes are opened up, we have to make sure they all fit. The grill starts to be put together. Okay, again, we first have to preload it on the separation bar. Now that has to go back into this part here. This particular piece, we had to do 3 grills to find this piece, because as I mentioned before, this is one of the spots where if someone accidentally hits something, it's going to bend, and it's very, very hard to find this piece in good shape. So this piece, again, we maintain the 2 tabs, and those 2 tabs will fit into this part very nicely because we've already sort of preloaded it. Before I can do this, I have to spin this onto here and have the entire grill assembly from the other side onto there also. Usually takes 2 or 3 sets of hands to do that so that none of these parts are damaged or scratched. Once that's in place, then what we do, I'm going to take this off. Come and hold this side, Miguel. Miguel's a great helper. These bars over here, you see the tips? What we do is we take a pair of pliers and give them a light twist, just enough so that the bar won't come out. Then after the grill is totally assembled, we use epoxy on the top of this thing. We actually build it with epoxy. Amazing thing that the glues today are so good that actual car bodies are actually glued together. So we can do these parts here, and they can be epoxied together so that this will maintain and hold the bars from coming in and out, and also from moving. The last thing you want is a car that's, has a slight vibration and you hear the grill moving, okay? So we're up to this state right now. These slots here actually have to be filed out also, because the top of the grill surround, which is made out of sheet metal, and that'll be the painted color of the car, will actually grip into this point also. So again, the process, very time consuming. You have to make sure that everything is aligned correctly. And when you put this thing together, you have to make sure that you're going to get, hit a home run on the first shot. Because if you mess up something, you scratch something, if you're not patient, you're going to, end up messing it up, and then you're in big trouble. Because now you have to send the part back to be plated, and then the whole process starts all over again. So it is time consuming, but we do a perfect job on it. And when the grill is finished, it is absolutely stellar.